The year is 1947. The place, a nameless facility hidden deep within the Soviet Union. A chill seeps from its concrete walls, a silent testament to the horrors contained within. It is here, shrouded in secrecy and shadowed by the Iron Curtain, that the whispers begin. Whispers of a terrifying experiment, whispered from man to man, passed on like a dark secret. They speak of the Russian sleep experiment, a chilling exploration into the darkest corners of the human psyche. This is not a tale for the faint of heart. It is a descent into madness, a glimpse into the abyss that awaits when the need for sleep, that fundamental human requirement, is denied. The story has been whispered in hushed tones, debated by scholars, dismissed as mere urban legend. But some truths refuse to be buried. And the truth of the Russian sleep experiment is far more terrifying than any fiction. 5 souls, deemed expendable by the state, became prisoners of this macabre experiment. Political dissidents, their voices silenced, their lives forfeit. They were promised freedom in exchange for 30 days of sleep deprivation, a small price to pay, or so they thought. Locked inside a sealed chamber, their only view of the world filtered through thick glass, they became subjects in a twisted game. Their every breath, every heartbeat, meticulously monitored, recorded, analyzed. A single microphone hung from the ceiling, a silent observer to their descent into madness. It captured their hopes, their fears, their pleas for mercy, broadcasting them to the unseen researchers who watched from the shadows. The air within the chamber was thick with anticipation, heavy with the knowledge that they were trapped, their fates sealed. They were but pawns in a game, their lives held in the hands of men who had long since abandoned their humanity. The chamber itself was an instrument of torture, a sterile white-walled box devoid of any comfort or stimulation. The air, thick with the metallic tang of fear, hung heavy and stagnant. A single glaring light bulb pierced the darkness, a constant, unforgiving reminder of their plight. There was no escape from the light, no escape from the watchful eyes of the researchers, no escape from the relentless march of time. Days bled into nights, marked only by the rustle of movement, the murmur of voices slowly unraveling. Food was provided, a meagre sustenance to fuel their waking nightmare. Water dripped from a rusty tap, each drop a hammer blow against their sanity. The chamber, a crucible, was designed to strip them bare, to expose the raw, primal fear that lurked beneath the surface. The first few days passed in a haze of discomfort and boredom. The subjects, their eyes red-rimmed with exhaustion, clung to their sanity, their voices echoing hollowly in the confined space. They spoke of their families, their hopes, their dreams, clinging to the remnants of their former lives. They played cards, they told stories, they did anything to distract themselves from the gnawing fatigue that threatened to consume them. But sleep, like a jealous lover, would not be denied. It crept in at the edges of their awareness, a seductive siren promising sweet oblivion. They fought back, their bodies rebelling, their minds growing foggy. The researchers watched, their interest peaked as the subjects began to exhibit the first signs of sleep deprivation. Their laughter became strained, their movements jerky, their words slurred and disjointed. The experiment, it seemed, was proceeding as planned. Section 5, The Descent. Whispers turned to screams. As the days turned into a sleepless eternity, the whispers began. Paranoia blossomed, a poisonous flower taking root in the fertile soil of their exhaustion. They saw shadows lurking in the corners, heard voices whispering their names. The subjects, once comrades in their shared misfortune, now eyed each other with suspicion. Trust, once a bond, dissolved into fear and suspicion. The chamber, once sterile and white, became a canvas for their unraveling minds. They smeared feces on the walls, a primal act of defiance, a desperate attempt to mark their territory. Their conversations, once filled with hope, descended into incoherent ramblings punctuated by bursts of anger and violence. The microphones, once capturing the mundane details of their existence, now broadcast their descent into madness. The researchers listened, captivated and horrified, as the experiment spiraled out of control. Section 6. The Beast Within, Unleashed in the Dark. On the 15th day, silence. The researchers watched, their faces pale with a mixture of fear and morbid fascination. The chamber, once alive with the sounds of their torment, was now eerily still. The microphones, their sensitive diaphragms, strained to pick up any sound, captured only the rasping breaths of the subjects. Had they finally succumbed to the sweet embrace of sleep? The silence, however, was a harbinger of something far more sinister. When the researchers finally dared to look inside, they were greeted by a scene of unimaginable horror. The chamber, once sterile, was now awash in blood. One of the subjects lay dead, his body mutilated, his insides strewn across the floor. The others, their eyes hollow, their bodies covered in blood, rocked back and forth, muttering to themselves. They had descended into the darkest recesses of their minds, the beasts within, unleashed by sleep deprivation. Section 7. The Bloody Price of Wakefulness. Panic. The researchers, their scientific detachment shattered, realized the true horror of their creation. They had unleashed something monstrous, something that could no longer be contained by concrete walls and steel bars. The subjects, their humanity stripped away, were no longer men, but creatures of instinct and primal rage. They had paid the price for their wakefulness, their minds irrevocably broken. The chamber, once a place of observation, became a battleground. Soldiers armed with guns and fear stormed the confined space, their boots crunching on the shattered glass of the observation window. The air, thick with the coppery tang of blood, was punctuated by the screams of the damned and the staccato bursts of gunfire. The subjects, their bodies ravaged by days of self-inflicted torture, fought back with a ferocity born of madness. Section 8. Echoes in the Silence, the Aftermath. When the silence finally returned, it was a silence heavier than before, pregnant with the ghosts of screams and the stench of death. The chamber, once a symbol of scientific hubris, stood as a testament to the depths of human cruelty. The experiment, a grotesque failure, was quickly swept under the rug, its secrets buried along with its victims. But some truths refused to be silenced. Whispers of the Russian sleep experiment lingered, carried on the wind, whispered in hushed tones in the dead of night. The tale became a cautionary reminder of the fragility of the human mind, of the monstrous potential that lurks beneath the surface, waiting to be unleashed. Section 9. What lurks in the shadows of the mind? The Russian sleep experiment, whether fact or fiction, forces us to confront the darkness that resides within us all. It is a stark reminder of the fine line that separates sanity from madness, a line that can be easily blurred by sleep deprivation, by fear, by the relentless pressure of confinement. The experiment also raises disturbing questions about the nature of scientific curiosity. How far are we willing to go in the pursuit of knowledge? What price are we willing to pay to unlock the secrets of the human mind? The Russian sleep experiment serves as a chilling reminder that some doors are best left unopened, that some knowledge comes at a terrible cost. Section 10. The Russian sleep experiment, a warning. The concrete walls of the nameless facility may crumble. The whispers of the experiment may fade into obscurity, but the questions it raises will continue to haunt us. The Russian sleep experiment stands as a warning, a chilling testament to the fragility of the human psyche and the monstrous potential that lurks within the shadows of our minds. So the next time you feel the seductive pull of sleep, remember the horrors of the Russian sleep experiment. Remember the 5 souls who paid the ultimate price for their wakefulness. Remember the darkness that lurks within us all, waiting for its chance to break free. And never, ever underestimate the power of a good night's sleep.